What's up, everyone? This is Ivan. Today is week 5 of Rebound Challenge. Now, guys, we are going to kick it off today with a shoulder workout. This workout today is going to target the anterior, lateral, and posterior heads of shoulders to fully develop whole delts muscles. Alright, I started here today with warm-up. I want you to take your time just to get yourself ready for the workout. I loaded the shoulder press machine with 10 kilograms plates on each side and just done 20 reps to get blood into working muscle and lubricate joints. Doing pyramid style warm-up is a great way to prepare the muscles for the first working set. Warming up is crucial, especially if you are older guy like me, always trying to minimize risk of injury. So you probably will never see me doing barbell squats, deadlifts, or barbell bench press. The reason is that I have to consider risk-reward ratio. Anyway, shoulder press hammer strength machine is a great piece of equipment. Well, for me at least. I picked up a shoulder injury doing shoulder press on the Smith machine, so I'm keeping away from it. This is my 5th week of my rebound, where I'm following plan to maximize muscle hypertrophy. Not focusing on to get stronger at the moment, but doing high volume Jay Cutler style. My volume is still only third of the volume Arnold Schwarzenegger was doing in 1970s in the golden era of bodybuilding. There was another way pushed by Mike Menzer where he is proposing only a fraction of the volume and frequency. The plan is to gain as much muscle without excessive fat. Some fat is accumulating already, I noticed, but I don't want to leave gains on the table and I don't have much time to waste as I am 50 years old. Muscles worked. So the hammer strength shoulder press primarily works the deltoids and the front and side and triceps, with supporting muscles like the upper chest also engaged. The machine's isolateral converging design allows for a focus on pressing strength and can engage stabilize the muscles, particularly the core, especially when using a single arm. Common mistakes doing this exercise. So arching your lower back places unnecessary strain on your spine. Engage your core and keep your back flat against the back pad to maintain a neutral spine position. Flaring elbows out excessively puts stress on the shoulder joint and rotator cuff. Instead, keep your elbows slightly tucked in, align with your wrists and in scapular plane. Using momentum and swinging the weight up rather than using controlled muscle strength reduces the exercise effectiveness. Perform both the lifting and lowering phases of the movement in a slow and controlled manner, focusing tension on your shoulder muscles. So lateral raises primarily target the lateral deltoid, which gives you broad shoulder look. I love this exercise. Anyway, lateral raises can be quite tough since they demand precise technique and strict muscle isolation to effectively engage the lateral delts. This exercise requires you to lift your arms away from your body, targeting the middle fibers on the deltoids, which can be difficult to isolate without involving other muscles. Keep in proper form, ensuring your thumbs are slightly above your pinkies, avoiding any internal or external rotation, and refraining from leaning or shrugging adds to the challenge. The slow, controlled movements necessary to avoid using momentum and to maximize muscle engagement, further heighten the intensity. Moreover, the lateral deltoids are relatively small muscles, and putting them under heavy loads or through a wide range of motion can be quite demanding. So, making lateral raises a highly effective yet challenging exercise for shoulder development. To properly execute lateral raises, begin by standing upright with your feet approximately shoulder width apart. Grip dumbbells with a neutral grip, allowing your arms to hang straight down with a slight bend in your elbows. Concentrate on activating the lateral deltoid muscles, steering clear of using momentum. Pause at the shoulder height for a brief moment, then gently lower the dumbbells back to the initial position. To uphold correct form, prevent any internal or external rotation by positioning your thumbs slightly above your pinkies, and refrain from leaning or shrugging. This guarantees that you are lifting with your deltoids rather than your trapezius muscles. Cable lateral raises. Unlike dumbbells, the cable provides a consistent line of resistance that can transform your lateral raise. This indicates that you experience tension right from the beginning of the exercise, which is frequently absent when using dumbbells. With cables, your shoulders remain under tension even at the start of the movement, guaranteeing effective muscle engagement from the outset. When your shoulders are at their peak strength, it's a mid-movement, the tension from the cable is ideally aligned, optimizing muscle activity. Even at the peak of the movement, where your shoulders may not be as strong, the cable still maintains some tension, albeit slightly diminished. This renders the cable lateral raise a superior choice for sustaining tension throughout the full range of motion. By opting for cables, you ensure that your lateral deltoids are continually challenged. This modification not only enhances the effectiveness of the exercise, but also aids in preventing potential injury by facilitating a smoother, controlled motion. The reverse cable fly primarily works the rear deltoids, so back of the shoulders, and the rhomboids and traps, they are on upper back. Common mistakes. It's lifting too heavy. This often leads to bending the elbows excessively and other compensatory movements, reducing the effectiveness of the exercise. So start with the lighter weight that allows you to maintain proper form and full range of motion. Focus on controlled movements rather than the amount of the weight. You know, it's not about the weight. Standing too upright or arching or rounding your lower back, this compromises stability and shifts the load away from the target muscles. Instead, you hinge at your hips with a slight bend in your knees. Keep your back straight and your core tight throughout the movement. Pulling the arms too low or in an upward arc, this can involve the lats or change the exercise into a lateral raise, taking focus away from the real delts. Pull the arms back in a wide arc, keeping them slightly bent, with the movement originating from the real deltoids. Ensure your arms are roughly parallel to the floor at the end of the movement. And reverse cable fly with both hands. So stand in the middle between pulleys. Step back about 1 meter. Make sure your arms are bent in the elbows and your shoulders are retracted and down, keeping a big chest and angle in your elbows. When you initiate the exercise, The angle in the elbows stay in there for the whole rep and get a good squeeze in the rear delt. Shrugging your shoulders or pulling your shoulder blades together excessively, this will engage the traps, which are not the primary target muscle for this exercise. So keep your shoulders blades relatively stable throughout the movement. Instead of squeezing them together, focus on initiating the movement by pulling your arms back with your real delts. So this is important here, mind-muscle connection. It can help if you want, you can close your eyes. Swinging the weights or rushing the movement, this uses the momentum instead of muscular force. So perform the exercise with slow, controlled motions. Focus on the muscle contraction during the lift and the resistance as you lower the weight. Allowing the weight stack to hit at the end of each repetition is a mistake. Stop just before the weights touch to maintain tension on the real deltoids throughout the set.